The Polish government says that Russian President Vladimir Putin is manipulating World War II-era history in a way that whitewashes Soviet crimes and accuses him of doing it as part of an information war against the West.
Here's a summary of the article.
4 minutes read. Warsaw, Poland. The Polish government says that Russian President Vladimir Putin is manipulating World War II-era history in a way that whitewashes Soviet crimes and accuses him of doing it as part of an information war against the West. The statement Friday from the government in Warsaw came a day after Putin, in a lengthy article in a U.S. journal, insisted on recognizing the Soviet Union as the prime defeater of Nazi Germany and suggested that Poland, a nation that was carved up by the German and Soviet forces and which lost 6 million citizens, bears some blame for the start of World War II. Stanislaw Zarin, the spokesman for the head of Poland's security services, called Putin's op-ed an element of an ongoing, persistent information war Russia wages against the West. The article, titled "The Real Lessons of the 75th Anniversary of World War II," appeared in the National Interest Journal 6 days before a huge military parade in Red Square to commemorate the end of World War II in Europe. The war, in which the Soviet Union lost an estimated 27 million people, is a linchpin of Russia's national identity, and Russian officials bristle at any questioning of the USSR's role. The Soviet Union signed a non-aggression pact with Nazi Germany shortly before the war began in 1939, known as the Molotov–Ribbentrop Pact. 2 years later, Germany turned on Stalin and invaded the Soviet Union, bringing the Soviets into the war on the side of the Allies. In recent years, Putin has been seeking to shift wartime blame to Poland as historical memory in the West has begun to focus more on the Soviet role in triggering the war and Stalin's crimes, and less on its role in defeating Germany.
This post received a score of 17,000, with an upvote ratio of 95%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
My mother lived in eastern Poland. USSR invaded from the east. Her fiancé, a teacher, and many other educated people were put on trains to Siberia. She saw atrocities comparable to those done by Nazis. After the war they had no right to their land. My aunt, a gifted weaver, spent the rest of her days, until retirement, laboring in the fields of a collective farm. And don't get me started about my father's early life. He was Ukrainian. His father was murdered by the NKVD because he was an entrepreneur.
Every other Russian can tell the same story. Read about gulags. It's not like crazy Russians did some shit to smaller nations. Stalin is not even Russian, as well as majority of party leaders that time, he is Georgian.
So it's even stranger if you know that Russians celebrate this sick system.
They don't. Their regime is trying to twist the facts to make it look more palatable.
58% of Russians think that Stalin played positive role in history.
It looks like you shared an AMP link. These will often load faster, but Google's AMP threatens the open web and your privacy. This page is even fully hosted by Google. You might want to visit the normal page instead. I'm a bot, why and about, mention me to summon me.
He claimed Poland started WW2, said USSR saved Polish when invaded Poland in September 1939, few weeks after German invasion, said half a dozen countries in Eastern Europe joined USSR on their own when they actually were invaded by USSR, and just generally downplayed Russia's role in starting the war and aggression in 1939 to 1941. Can't remember if he blamed Finland for invading Russia in '39.
And they did. Civilians need help, you kill them and now no one needs help. Easy.
That's when the term Molotov cocktail was coined. The Soviets were dropping bombs, but their propaganda claimed they were dropping food aid, bread baskets they called them, I think, so the Finnish resistance called homemade incendiary device Molotov cocktails, as in an alcoholic drink. Vyacheslav Molotov was a Soviet diplomat known for orchestrating the Molotov–Ribbentrop Pact, one of which main provisions was the division of Poland and the mutual non-aggression between the Nazis and the Soviets.
Molotov, being foreign minister of the USSR, was the one who claimed that they were only dropping food aid to begin with, saying that they were only helping starving Finns. There was no starvation in Finland. The cocktails were a gift back to go with the bread.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.